Hello, how y'all doing? I'm going to talk again today. This is part 4 of, I'm going to talk again today about Bishop Henry Porter from Sarasota, Florida. Now, I normally don't talk about people. I don't like to call out people's name in general, but this is so shocking to me. It's just shocking. Okay. Now, when I was a teenager, I kind of avoided Pentecostal churches because I didn't like the shouting, the singing. No, the singing, not the singing, but the shouting and the hollering and screaming and swinging on the chandeliers and so on, and all that extreme emotionalism. I didn't like it, so I avoided Pentecostal churches for a long time. And besides that, when I was a teenager, I saw a lot of the hypocrisy. I saw my peers getting pregnant. The men were sexually active. The girls were sexually active. Some were having abortions and so on. So I saw a lot of hypocrisy in the Pentecostal churches. So I have avoided over time, Pentecostal churches. But nevertheless, I went to this church in Panama City, Florida, which was a satellite church of Bishop Henry Porter's church. Now, I noticed that, he had this policy. Women cannot wear makeup, cannot wear any flashy nail polish, no jewelry, I don't think. And if you look at his choir, if you look at the videos of his choir, they have no makeup on, no lipstick, no fingernail polish. Hair is not done, y'all. So, the idea is for them to look as plain as possible. Okay, now that's hypocritical because he has what looks to me like theatrical makeup. That is why his skin is so translucent, okay? It looks like he has theatrical makeup or maybe lip gloss. So he doesn't want the women of the church and the choir to wear makeup and all these colors, but he wears it to make himself look better, okay? He wears lip gloss and makeup to make himself look better. Well, it looks like lip gloss. Definitely looks like theatrical makeup to me. Now, when I was talking to this person from West Coast, that was the name of the church in Panama City, she told me that there was a prophecy. This was back in about 1983. She told me that there was a prophecy that in 15 years, that church, Henry Porter's church and his satellite churches would be the largest in the nation. So that would be about 1998 or 1999. And those years came and went. Now, I remember, trying to check in the news to see if they were, in fact, the largest church in the United States, and I didn't see it. So I just shrugged. Just didn't come true. The prophecy didn't come true. Now I understand why. Because God is not going to grow a church where the leader is a homosexual pedophile. Now, I am not anti-gay. I am pro-human rights. I don't have anything to do with what people do in their bedroom. I don't pay for anything. I don't have anything to do with what two consenting adults do in their bedroom because I don't pay for anything. Okay, I don't pay for the house. I don't pay for the bedroom. But when it comes to molesting children, I have issues with that, whether they are heterosexual or homosexual. I have issues with that. Now, God is not going to grow the church where the leadership is a homosexual pedophile. He's not going to grow a church like that. And I remember she told me, this friend that I was talking with most of the time, she told me that, Bishop Henry Porter would just choose, a heterosexual couple and say, you two should be married. Y'all should be married. Now, what kind of sense does that make? A homosexual pedophile telling a heterosexual couple that they should be married. Okay, God's not that stupid. Okay, so that wasn't from God either, because that's just hocus pocus. Because why would a homosexual pedophile, he don't even like heterosexuals. That doesn't make any sense. A homosexual pedophile tell a heterosexual couple, God said you two should be married. That makes no sense. That wasn't of God. That was just an egg salad sandwich. Egg salad sandwich and coffee. That's all it was, okay? It wasn't from God. Because it makes no sense. By that time, I would think that God knows he's a homosexual pedophile and he's trying to tell a heterosexual couple to get married. No, God's not that stupid, okay? Now, there were a lot of people from that church who, had children, who had small children, and the thought of them, those children, when they got a certain age from 12 to 19, being molested or raped by this man is staggering. I mean, the whole thought is unfathomable. I mean, I can't even wrap my mind around it. I really can't. There were a lot of people who had newborns. And I'm thinking when they are from 12 to, when they got older, from 12 to 19, what happened to them? I mean, I can't even wrap my mind around the possible molestation. I can't even wrap my mind around it. Now, if you look at the videos, some from his church, about 2015, 2016, there was somebody from that church, maybe two people that I knew. This is 30 plus years later. Okay, so I'm thinking, why are they at that church? Because by this time, everybody knew. Everybody in Sarasota knew. The police department in Sarasota knew. The DA in Sarasota knew. The attorneys in Sarasota knew that he was a homosexual pedophile. He was raping black children. They knew. So why are those two people, I think it was two, but I'm definitely one, why are they still in that church? Because everybody by this time knows he's a homosexual pedophile. Okay? Now, I personally think that he was just plain stupid, because we in the United States know that if you even touch a child in an inappropriate way, that's 15 plus years in prison. If you perform a sex act on a child, that is potentially 40 plus years in prison. Every adult in the United States should know that. I mean, I think we do. So what does he do? The allegation is he repeatedly touches children in an inappropriate way, and he repeatedly rapes children, particularly boys, performing sex acts on these boys. But he had to have known that each time he does that, it's 15 plus years in prison. It's 40 years plus in prison. But yet he did it time after time, year after year, after over a 40-year period. And he knew what the penalty was, because in America, we all know what the penalty is. He's plain stupid. But look, this is what he's thinking, I think. Look, he's given at least $20,000 to the police department. So they're not going to prosecute him. He's bought the police department off. The DA is not going to prosecute him because they're connected to the police department. So look, he can continue to rape these black children because black children don't count. Black children are not important. So he continues to rape these black children because they're not important. They don't count. They are nobodies. So keep raping over a 40-year period these black children because he's untouchable. He's given the police department, mostly white, $20,000 plus. And like I said, $20,000 is nothing per Sunday in the 9 o'clock service of any average sized church. That's no money. So at this point, he's thinking he can keep raping these children. They black. He's already given his money to the police department. Now, I guarantee you, if a white child was in there, they would have been arrested him. He would have been under the jail by now if he was raping a white child. Now, I do not think that he was called by God, because don't you think that God knew he was a homosexual pedophile? He knew that. I do not think he was called by God. I think he was probably called by his family. Okay, you're smart. You can play the piano. You can sing. Go preach. Die. Sometimes people call themselves to preach because they don't know how to hustle for $1 out here. I think he may have called himself to preach. His family put pressure on him to preach. Okay, you're talented. Go preach. Bye. And God probably didn't. I have never known the Lord to call a homosexual pedophile to preach. I've never known it. Okay, and now they are bringing yet another charge against him that could get him life in prison. This is so hard to believe. Have a nice day.